Hi everyone, this is Dhruv from FoneArena.com. Today we have with us Samsung's current flagship, which is the Galaxy S4, and LG's phablet, which is the LG Optimus G Pro. Samsung's Galaxy S4 was announced in March and has been available in the market since April, while the G Pro was announced in February but has been available in the market only since July. Both the devices pack powerful processors under the Full HD displays. Let's check out how they compete against each other. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is not very different from its predecessor in terms of design, with the same all-plastic build and a similar design language. The Optimus G Pro, on the other hand, has a very solid build quality with a glass front and a textured glass back. Both the phones have curved edges, which makes them easier to hold, but the Galaxy S4 has a plastic rim running along the device, while the G Pro has a solid metal rim. In terms of dimensions, the Optimus G Pro is taller, wider and thicker than the Galaxy S4. The Galaxy S4 weighs a mere 130 grams, while the G Pro weighs 172 grams, which makes it quite heavy. On the front of the phones we have the display, above which we have the earpiece and the front cameras along with the ambient and proximity sensors. On both the phones we have the front camera and the proximity and ambient sensors on the right side of the earpiece. On the Galaxy S4 there is a light sensor and an LED notification light on the left side of the earpiece. The earpiece is along the top edge on the Optimus G Pro. Below the display we have a physical home button on both the devices, which is flanked by capacitive touch keys on either side. On the G Pro the home button is surrounded by an LED light. The arrangement of keys is quite similar, with only the power lock key on the right side of both the phones. On the bottom we have a micro USB port and microphone. On the left side we have a volume rocker on both the devices, although there is an extra Q slide key on the G Pro, which is customizable for various uses. On the top we have a 3.5mm audio jack, IR blaster and secondary microphone on both devices. The keys are made of brushed aluminium on the Galaxy S4, while they are made of plastic on the G Pro. The keys on the S4 are well accessible and offer better feedback when compared to the ones on the G Pro. The back of both of the phones is different, as the Galaxy S4 has a glossy textured plastic, while the Optimus G Pro has a textured glossy glass back. Both the devices become smudgy after a few minutes of usage and are fingerprint prone. The 13-megapixel camera on both the phones is located towards the top center, with the LED flash below it on the S4 and the LED flash to the right of the camera on the Optimus G Pro. The speaker grill is along the bottom left on the S4, which is found to the left of the camera in the G Pro. Below the camera we have the company's branding on both devices. The back cover is removable on both the phones. Removing the back case we find the battery compartment. On the S4 the non-hot swappable micro SIM card slot and the hot swappable micro SD card slot are above the battery, while they are located below the battery on the G Pro. Overall, the Galaxy S4 is nothing new in terms of design, with the same Samsung design and all plastic build. But it is quite handy and it fits perfectly into the hand and is very light as well. The Optimus G Pro is solidly built, but it is on the heavier side. Both the phones have a 1080p Full HD display. The Samsung Galaxy S4 has a 5-inch Super AMOLED display, while the Optimus G Pro has a 5.5-inch IPS Plus display. The S4 has a pixel density of 441 ppi, while the G Pro has a pixel density of 401 ppi. In terms of brightness, both the displays were very good, but the one of the Galaxy S4 seemed brighter. In terms of color saturation and contrast, the S4 was quite good, but it was oversaturated. Both the displays had excellent viewing angles. Whites were good on the G Pro, while blacks were darker on the S4 because of the AMOLED technology. Images were much more crisp on the S4 because of the higher pixel density. Overall, we like the display on the Galaxy S4. The S4 is one of the first devices to be powered by an octa-core processor, and it features Samsung's own Exynos 5410 processor. It has 2GB of RAM and the graphics are taken care of by the PowerVR SGX 544 MP3 GPU, while the Optimus G Pro is powered by a 1.7 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 600 system on chip. It has 2GB of RAM and an Adreno 320 GPU. Despite the octa-core tag, the Galaxy S4 has two quad-core processors which work one at a time depending on the load. Both the phones come in 16 and 32GB variants, while on the Galaxy S4 there's a 64GB variant as well. Both the phones have micro SD card slots for storage expansion. Out of the 16GB of storage, the Galaxy S4 has around 8.90 user accessible storage, while the G Pro has around 10.11GB. Out of the 2GB of RAM, both phones have about 1.8GB available, and the Galaxy S4 has 0.95GB of free RAM, while the G Pro has 1.2GB free. Both the phones are extremely snappy in day-to-day usage. Opening apps and switching between them is equally fast on both devices. In benchmarks, the Galaxy S4 beat the G Pro in most of the benchmarks, while the G Pro managed to outpace the S4 in a few of them. Both phones have a 13 megapixel camera at the back with an LED flash, and the Galaxy S4 has a 2 megapixel camera at the front, while the G Pro has a 2.1 megapixel snapper. Both the phones are capable of recording 1080p Full HD videos with stereo sound from both the front and back cameras. The camera interface is very different on both devices. Various shooting modes like HDR, panorama and burst mode are available on both the phones. The Galaxy S4 has around 12 shooting modes while the G Pro has around 7. Both the devices have dual camera mode, which lets you use both the cameras at the same time. In terms of image clarity, the images and videos of the Galaxy S4 were just slightly better with lesser noise, more details and better contrast and saturation. The Samsung Galaxy S4 runs on a more recent version of Android, that is Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, while the G Pro runs on Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean. Samsung's TouchWiz layer not only adds eye candy to the interface, but it has a lot of features as well, which includes multi-window, S-Beam, Air View, Air Gesture, Smart Stay, Smart Scroll, Smart Pause and pop-up videos. The LG phone comes with Q apps, which are similar to small apps seen on Sony's phones, and 2 of them can be used at a time. There is also a note-taking app from LG which reminds us of the Note 2's S-Note application. LG has a Q slide key on the left side of the phone which can be configured to open any Q app or other apps directly. In terms of software, the Galaxy S4 is definitely ahead with a lot of features and customizations. Both phones are excellent at gaming. Both the phones have great processors and excellent displays. Almost all the games run very smoothly on the phones, and gaming is quite good on either device. Because of the larger display on the G Pro, gaming is slightly better. The Samsung Galaxy S4 has a 2600 mAh battery pack, while the G Pro has a 3140 mAh battery. In terms of battery life, the one on the G Pro proved to be better. Connectivity options range from Wi-Fi 802.11b, G, N and AC to Bluetooth, 3G, NFC, Wi-Fi Direct, DLNA, USB on the go and micro USB with MHL connectivity. The relatively cheaper Galaxy S4 comes in at a more compact and lightweight package with a better display, better camera and more software features, while the Optimus G Pro has a solid build quality, better battery and a bigger display. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.